Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Just watching one of Dan's videos, and he was talking about working with small shards. I've done several videos on these, and I really like them. Working with this stuff is quite advanced. It's really hard to do. Micro shards. This is some of the hardest flint and steel stuff that you can do. This is actually only these two here are flint. This is a jasper, and this is petrified wood. I've got some pretty small stuff here. I can get most of it to spark pretty, I won't say easy, because it's not easy to do. You can get sparks to come off it, but it is very hard to do, mainly because I've rounded that edge off. Okay, that one there, that will get sparks. There, going. Going on to the small shards, they become so fragile because they are so small, but as you can see, you can get down to that size shard and still generate sparks. That size shard, I'm getting sparks off that. I can get sparks off that. So that is pretty small. I can develop sparks off these things, but actually getting embers with them is a different story. Char cloth is very difficult because it is not robust enough. The best thing I can suggest with this is amadou. It is probably the best type of thing you can do with this if you want to try and get embers with this sort of thing, because you can get a piece of amadou, it will hold up to being put up next to this, and then all you have to do is get the strayest, one little stray spark into it, and you will get amadou on it. We basically don't have anything equivalent in Australia that will take sparks like amadou does. Because amadou is treated either with potassium nitrate or potash, I don't think I have anything equivalent to it that takes a stray spark like amadou does. With these larger ones, they are not very difficult to get a spark on with char cloth. I can do that without too much of a problem because they are large enough to be able to hold your char cloth there, drive sparks into it, and get char cloth going. But that's quite a large piece of, relatively speaking, of a piece of petrified wood. This is my muckadilla. It's some of the best sparking petrified wood. That's why I'm using it. For micro shards, this is problematic. I'll give it a go using a piece of flint. The problem is char cloth is fragile. There we go. I actually did get that char cloth going on a micro shard. Don't try and go on one strike catches on this stuff. That's just ridiculous. let's give this a go. Yeah, that's very hot on my arm. Thankfully, it was just sitting on my hair of my arm and not burning me. Burnt all the hair off my arm, but now this will be a challenge. This one, I like testing myself. This is that tiny micro shard. There we go. I actually did get it embered up on that micro shard. That's the smallest I've ever done on a micro shard that is tiny. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. That is pretty significant. Yeah, that was quite a. That surprised me actually. Yeah, that's the smallest I've ever achieved on that shard. I've done it on now on several pieces, but that's just fooling around. But this is showing off. Like, you don't do this for survival or normal flint and steel, because it's quite simply, it's too small. The manipulation of micro shards like this and having to use a piece like that is just it's ridiculous to try and do that in a survival situation. But yeah, it's again testing yourself, pushing yourself, trying to do it a little bit harder, trying to get the skill up, just being able to. I find it hard because my big fingers just can't hold the the shards without getting it like getting enough of it, holding it out and being able to strike it. That's my biggest problem. But yeah, I just wanted to do something because I saw Dan from Blind Our Bushcraft going on about smaller shards and whatnot, and I've done several videos on micro shards, and Andy from over in England did a challenge on how small you could go, and I don't think I went that small last time, and that is about as small as you could go. I don't think I could go any smaller because that's a minuscule piece. I've got it on film that I just did it on char cloth, which I've never done before because char cloth is very, very hard because normally it falls apart. It crumbles as you're striking. But this char cloth I'm using is t-shirt and it picks up a spark very well. But yeah, that's just another. This is the challenging ones. I like to do challenges too, just trying to push myself, get those, like, the challenges up a little bit. Try and push yourself, get your skills up, and trying to push yourself and stretch yourself and master the craft a little bit more, and try and see how far you can take the craft, and these certainly do push your abilities to get embers, because these are hard things to manipulate in your hands and be able to drive sparks off them, because and I'd suggest only using your best strikers, because again, you got to be able to get get sparks off them. But anyway, that's working with micro shards, or of different types of rocks. As I said, that was petrified wood, jasper, and a couple of pieces of flint. And as I showed, I got sparks off all of them. That's flint sparking. I just showed jasper, and I won't go to the tiniest one, but that's petrified wood. Anyway, thanks for watching.